Welcome. So this is the BTS Creative Academy podcast. We're here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Woo. Can I get a woo? Why not? We're here at the Romford Film Festival. So, who are you guys? What brings you here?
So we had a film of ours called Melodrive, which is a music drama officially selected, and it screens this evening. And everyone other than myself and the DOP, Joshy, who's there, nobody else has seen it but us, so it was kind of the first time for everyone to see it. Yeah.
How did that feel? You look pretty happy.
I came in with a very zen attitude, like, I want people to like it, but I don't need them to because I like it, you know, and like when making a film, it has to be for yourself first, you know, so I think coming in with that attitude, which was kind of the first for me, helped a lot, and then when everyone happened to like it, I was like, cool.
So Oscar, what was your role in this film? This is your film?
Yes.
Did you write this film?
I did.
Direct it?
I did.
Produce it?
I did.
Do the catering?
No.
No?
I composed it.
You composed it as well?
Yes.
Wow.
That's me.
And so, who else have we got here then? So we've got Megan as well?
Yeah, I'm Megan.
These are my mellow babies.
Yeah, I played Zoe. Weird.
They don't like it. But I like it.
I played Zoe.
I played Ethan. I'm Matt.
And we've got some back row audience here.
We're Megan's fans.
All two of them.
Where's yours?
Thank you for joining, guys.
Welcome. Megan and I trained together, and Rhys as well. So obviously we came
Are you
to
part of
support
the film?
And no. But Megan and I also have a podcast.
We do have a podcast.
Do you have a podcast as well? What's the
Come see
podcast
my
called? We can like
Acting Up is about the struggles of being a working class actor, which are many.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
And sorry, what's your name?
Rhys, I'm Rhys. Yeah,
Rhys.
I guessed on one of the podcast episodes, train with these guys, and I'm a dancer. So that's what I do at the moment.
And DP.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and editor as well.
And editor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joshy Lee. Hi guys. Yeah.
I was just pulled in off the street.
Why are we here? Who are you?
Who is this? I played the cafe manager in Melodrive, and also I played violin on the soundtrack as well.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I'm Alex. No.
I'm Elliott. I did what did I do? Help produce the soundtrack.
He did
and
produce the
record
soundtrack.
the soundtrack. I was also sound recordist and boom op on location, the whole shoot.
Anything sound. We call him
Anything-
Sound Lord.
You're the
I'm
sound
the sound
lord.
lord,
Yeah.
as
Sound lord.
Oscar put it.
Sound lord. Yeah.
And I had a very small part, which was also the line was cut. But I was in there. I was the waiter.
He still looked very
Why
sexy.
was he
Yeah. Why was he?
Because it works better as a montage.
Oh, that sounds.
There was
That's
there
what
was
they all
some of
say.
the
That's
sound.
what I say to them all.
So what's this movie about then? What's the story?
Of course, so Melodrive is about a young man called Ethan, and after having an emotional affair, he is sent on a homeward-bound road trip to get back in touch with his roots, and on his journey to, you know, reconnect with his parents after a kind of traumatic divorce, he bumps into his high school sweetheart, Zoe, played by Megan, and they go on an adventure that makes his emotions become even more off balance.
Mhm. So you guys as actors, what did you enjoy about being part of this film?
I think the just like mostly the atmosphere kind of from when we were cast that carried right through to the last day of shoot. I mean, you know, all of us, like all three of us, were all quite early on in our respective careers, and I think because of that, this project like meant a great deal to all of us. You know, we were really personally invested, and from the moment we were cast, there was a real collective sort of team feel. We spent a lot of hours together before shoot, rehearsing, getting to know each other, you know, doing a lot of work and a lot of personal kind of growth as a team. And as I say, that kind of real team, sort of free-flowing, like relaxed attitude carried through onto set. And I think, you know, Megan and I had a lot of you know, sort of intimate scenes together and a lot of tough scenes, and I think because we laid that groundwork, we could approach those from a really comfortable place, and yeah, that was just, I mean, it's just really gratifying, really pleasure to be a part of, you know.
I'd like joined in a bit later, so everyone like had already formed friendships and everything.
That can
So-
be a bit daunting sometimes.
Yeah, no,
can't it?
yeah,
when
no,
everyone else is
100%.
like clicking and
But
you're
as
the
soon
leader.
as like I got there, I was like, oh, I feel like I've been here the same amount of time. Like it is literally a family. Like I've worked on a few other things, but honestly, this is like the best experience. No offense to any of the others. Like it is a family. Like we still meet up now, and it's been like over a year since filming. And to have that trust, like Oscar gave me the trust of giving me Zoe and let me do what I want with it. And like he's always like, oh, thank you, but like honestly, like if Oscar didn't hire me, I would still be like, hire me. Do you know what I mean? So
I don't think she'll have any trouble now.
oh, thank you.
Did you mention that Megan was also nominated?
She was.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
How
I
does
don't know
that
how I
feel?
did that one. I was like, maybe I can act. That's pretty epic. It was. I didn't even fathom that I could have been nominated for something like that. So even just having that nomination, it pushes you to be like, because you always have in the back of your mind, can I do this? Am I good enough to do it? Because so many people want to do it, especially like being working class of money and everything like that. It's nice to be like, okay, people think I'm actually good at what I'm doing, so it kind of pushes you. So I was very happy.
That being recognised for a moment.
Yeah, of being like, this woman has embodied this character and we love this character, which I want people to love Zoe because she is just lost and she's trying to find herself. And then for people to read that when they're watching that film means a lot to me.
So Oscar, did you have anything to do with this good feeling on the set that everyone seemed to have? Did you started this project?
Is it wrong with me to say yes?
Let's be truthful. What
mean-
was the idea? Because it doesn't always click like this on a film
It
set.
doesn't. I mean, I'm not from a film background. I'm trained in music. And when I came to film, I came without any real experience. I met DOP Joshy because I wrote this script after getting a job in music, and I was like, actually, do I like music that much? Like, or do I like writing and film? Because I've always done it with my younger brother since we were like little kids. And so I got back into it, started writing, and then one thing after another, things fell into place. And I then wrote this script for a feature called Cycles, and kind of haven't let up since then. But because I haven't come from a film background, but I hear from people I work with, but it's not always like this. Just like, well, I'm only doing it to have fun and to tell stories that I'm passionate about and I'm excited by. And if people on set aren't also excited, then I don't really want to do it. So like, it's really important to me to create that environment, not just for like me to work, but like we're a very playful, boisterous set. Like it's loud, it's silly.
I can tell.
Not everyone, not everyone like
But
gels.
professional.
But when they do, yeah, but professional. But like on me and Elliott, for example, we've worked together since day one, you know, and like when you find your people and you find your team and you find your family, it works. And like that's something, like as my teams grow, each project that I'm really looking for, and then like when casting or hiring crew, I'm not really looking for experience. I'm looking for like vibe. It's a vibe check.
Good to be rubbish. But
Yeah.
so-
A bit the vibe, yeah.
So you guys being slightly on the outside, you've watched this film. Can you feel the vibe?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Doesn't sound like a
I've
good
met
thing.
a few of the guys in like drips and drabs. Like I met Brad, who was AD, and then I met Matt as well through Megan. So I've sort of met a few people, and everyone has nothing but good things to say about each other.
I feel
So
like you want to be part of this, really, don't you?
I'm absolutely gagging to be part of this.
When's the sequel?
Are they in the sequel?
What's the sequel?
And sorry, Megan, but like Megan has just absolutely beamed about this film since like the first self-tape, since the first phone call. I knew Megan through the whole casting process. Like I can remember when she like got told that she got it, and it was.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the reason why you got nominated.
Ooh, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you've embodied the role since day one. Like when I saw Megan's self-tape, like I did audition others, and I brought others to in-person auditions, but I always knew it was Megan. Like from day one, it was there in the
You
tape.
also
exactly
did give
what I
it
was looking
away
for.
Tell the
when we
cheesecake
were,
story.
yeah.
The cheesecake
So
story.
I didn't even know the
doing-
cheesecake story.
we
You
were-
need the
I was-
cheesecake story, guys.
So I was doing the chemistry reads, and I remember I was saying something, and I have like a food page. I don't really post on it anymore. And I was like, yeah, I saw your cheesecake. And then someone was like, yeah, you should bring the cheesecake on set. I went, you should bring the cheesecake on set? Right, are you saying I'm going to be on set? And in the moment, I was like, okay. And then leaving, I said to my mum, they've asked me to bring my cheesecake on set.
Yeah, we can't play it cool tonight.
And I did bring my cheesecake cheesecake and everyone had my cheesecake.
You're the cheesecake studio.
The studio,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it,
Recording
that's
session.
Yeah.
That's
We
how
like
I
the
made
cheesecake.
friends.
Where is it today?
If you're going to be on the podcast, then we want cheesecake on the podcast. I tell you what, if we're going to do a collab, then I want cheesecake.
Cheesecake, yeah, I'll do that.
Can
Can
we
we
do
do
that?
that? Yeah.
No pressure, it's got Biscoff cake in the biscuit. It's
What?
vegan,
Recipe.
it's vegan, so...
Okay, yeah, I'm okay either way, but the yeah.
Oh,
It's a very cheesy story.
So you've got this good energy, you've got this good vibe when you're making this film. It sounds like it's all quite playful.
yeah.
Yeah, DP, how does that work for you? Because you've got quite a serious job to get on with.
Yeah.
Like,
When I let him.
No, I think it's good. I mean, I think the playful nature really helps. I mean, just to add on to what Oscar was saying, like all the chemistry stuff wasn't just about the actors. It's also about making them feel comfortable with the crew and the crew feeling comfortable with the crew. So it was a lot of like when we're doing like test stuff, it wasn't Oscar going off with the camera. He would bring me to Devon to shoot it with them. So we were doing all these like stuff in the car, getting all cramped in this little yellow little bug car. So we were getting like quite close into it with everyone. So whenever it got to those moments, hopefully they felt very comfortable and it comes across on the set. And the same thing when with the crew as well. Like, you know, there's some quite heavy stuff in this, but to be able to go, you know, boisterous, jokey, laughing, banter, and then all right, cool, let's go, and then everyone just goes to work, cameras up, everything, do the shot. And it's like very, I don't know, it was very organic, very nice, and yeah, it was.
I think Brad might have disagreed about sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Quite
yeah, that's his job.
The AD's always going to ruin it.
It's
Yeah.
just boring.
so that's what I was going to ask you. How do you? Because I agree that the playfulness
Yeah.
is so important when you're creating something. But how do you bring it back down for that moment? Do you have an AD that deals with that?
I
Do you
mean,
have like a scapegoat that he's the bad guy?
in a way, but also like for me, and I think everyone knows on set, like we have fun, but when it's time, we work. You know, and that's what's in place. You know, if that's broken, if that level of trust in the boisterous and the playful nature, if the trust is broken, then it changes. But it's about having the right people that know when to switch it on and switch it off. You know, and that's what we've been building.
I think that's what comes with the connection between everyone is like, we're not just here just because we're mates, we care because we care about the film. So when it comes down to, all right, cameras up, booms up, lights up, it's like everyone takes it very seriously. We want to put out the best that we can put out.
So credit to Oscar getting those, like we said earlier, Oscar getting those people in from cast through to crew.
Yeah,
He's
like vetting everyone as
put
they
that
come through
ethos together.
and making sure that we do have that chemistry and we are passionate, we are driven, and we want to put out the best that we can put out. And it happened. Well, I think it happened anyway.
Yeah.
Wait till the audience come back.
So, Soundlord, have you got anything that you would like to add to this playfulness and this? Did you say you played the violin? Alex played the
Hello.
violin. So how did so yeah? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this wasn't too long after the initial stages, so as Oscar's alluded to, I was on board quite early as well. I'm not sure the exact timeline, but the soundtrack Oscar wrote all by himself to begin with. And then he got me on board to help produce the tracks, and we worked together very closely to flesh them out. And I would bring in different session musicians, and Oscar would bring them in, Alex, for example. So it was kind of nice, even just those individuals each time. Also, you said you were really pleased with who was on the album, and partially because they got that ethos as well. It was all fun and games during the whole process while still delivering the product. And then we had Matt and Megan in to record their vocals, so because they sung all the songs. And so I got to know them, like Megan's talking about the test days as well. I came along to one of the ones in Devon. So I think, I'm just reiterating the team ethos, the fun times. It was just a blast. Probably the least fun I had was when after the shoot, and you'd just get me and Oscar in a room.
Oh,
Just the two.
Till,
we had
till
enough.
like the middle of the night, go and we have to finish.
Do you feel the same way, or?
And it was just
I think
so-
we had the fun, and then we were left with like the slog, and it was
And
like,
then
oh
Joshy
great.
had a similar experience as well. I think.
I bet you had a
couple
good
of
time.
us.
in
Oh,
there.
we
Boys,
still
so
laughed,
you
and,
still
you know.
have-
You've had the creative period, and then you have to try and get it
You
right.
have
Yeah.
to, you have
Yeah.
to do the work at some. It isn't all just playtime. You have to do
No,
the work at some point.
But also, I think what's really important to say about it is because I worry sometimes when we talk about it like this, it seems like it's very tight knit, closed circle.
Mhm.
But it's like, for me, a huge part of like, because as a kid I struggled to fit in, which is why I fell down the path of music, not film. Because all my friends, I had football friends. I didn't want football friends. This random guy when I was like 12 said, "Oh, you play guitar?" I didn't. Then I learned guitar in like 4 days. To be friends with him.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and then that was it. And I was like, oh, all my friends are musicians. I'll just keep doing this. But I was always passionate about film. But for me, as someone who never felt included or like a part of something, it's like all this energy. It's like even if you don't have necessarily, because I'm not overly confident outside of this environment. So it's like the room is there for everyone to be welcomed in. And if there's ever someone that's not quite feeling it, the tone changes and we welcome them in how they're comfortable. You know, it's really about building something that's full of respect and love and care, regardless of your background, your energy. It's like there is a place for you, and that's not ignored.
Even if they were on for,
Yeah.
even if they were on for one day, like
Yeah.
like Oscar saying, it's not a tight knit thing.
No, there
It
ain't.
feels like it is because of how it feels. But even if a person's only involved in just a small amount, they're still as welcomed.
Mhm.
And generally, you seem to get the same enjoyment and the same vibe that people who are on the whole project are for.
Normally, my next question. Normally, I would jump to the director with this, but I actually want to go to the audience with
You
this
do?
one, which is maybe a
To
bit
swap
odd.
seats
But
Yeah.
what do you feel like the hopes and dreams are for this film of the future? Where do you feel like this is going?
Oscar for Megan.
Oh, all right. Oh, wow.
Megan. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think like the music really helps the story shine through, and I think it almost felt like a collaboration between the actors and also like the work of the composition as well. So for me, I really think that it kind of aims to project both the storytelling with the music as well, like hand in hand.
Mhm.
So I could definitely see, I don't know, it's very multifaceted, isn't it?
How does that fit with you guys, the makers of this film, the people that put this together? Does that resonate with your hopes and dreams?
100%. Like for me, it is like the music adds to it, like you said, Rhys. But like they are two separate things, where they also come together, and they can both have a separate life and one life.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them both to have, you know, however the film and the music finds its audience. It's like that's what I want. It doesn't have to be together. It doesn't have to be apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just feel like they've both got a home somewhere.
I guess also because the music can live on through
Yeah.
past the film as well. So if the soundtrack is ever released in the future, you can take it home. You can listen to it. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's in different mediums. And I think that's really interesting.
Oscar had some really strong soundtrack influences for it, which he would show me films I hadn't seen, but I'd listened to the soundtrack. And
Mm,
I think this film could have the
Well,
potential
you
to
gave
offer
us
the same thing
for sure.
beyond.
Is it
beyond
all
this
original
release as
music
well.
within this?
Yeah.
Then?
12 songs.
So is there anything stopping you from putting that music out there separately?
Oh no, it'll be happening.
It will
That
be
is
happening.
the plan. Yeah, for sure. I think like that was
Tomorrow.
a huge. That was a huge part of it getting financed in the first place. It was like there was that separate like revenue stream, a separate selling point.
Mhm.
So it's like we're running with that for sure, all the way.
So is this, with independent films, it's not always that you're looking at money, that you're looking for this thing to make money.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a calling card for what you're putting together individually as well, calling card for you as actors, directors, DP, sound. But you mentioned money there. So are you looking to sell
That's the
this?
producer hat.
Yeah, like I mentioned money there because I had to mention money to get it financed.
Mm.
But now, okay, I made it, you know,
Yeah.
and I think it's done enough already for me to do my next one.
Mhm.
You know, and everything's a stepping stone, and like coming back to the whole like ethos of our group and all the groups I always have. I want people coming on, but like aren't coming on to like tick a box. Oh, I've made a film. You know, it's like, oh, great, I've done this one film in this many steps that I've got to go. So it's like for me and everyone else, like Melodrive's like a step in the journey. You know, we completed it. People are starting to like it as people are starting to see it. Now wherever it goes would be lovely, but you know, the two producers that I made this alongside, that's now their job, and I'm free to focus on, or I'm free to talk about it and focus on what's next. So, you know, it is about wanting success for this film and wanting it to find its audience, but once again, like boiling it down, not getting hung up on anything, because it's an independent film, like you said, you have no control. You know, the resources are slim, there's no real control, but it's been a bloody good stepping stone, and I've loved it, and it's been amazing, and I'm excited for what's next.
What is next?
Whoa. So I've written it, I'm pitching it at the moment, and speaking to producers, it's a platonic romance drama about two young men and their conflicted relationship with alcohol. It still has an original soundtrack, but it's not a music drama. The original soundtrack basically accompanies the protagonist's life as they go through the journey.
And actors, what are you guys hoping is what's coming on? Because that's a sometimes quite a difficult place to be. An actor, you're waiting for the next opportunity.
You're right there.
You know, I've been there. I've experienced that myself. But have you got any answers at all?
I think you know what you get yourself into as an actor. Like, especially like I'm a woman, I'm white. So many other white people want to do that as well. And I think you just got to keep going. Like, even getting that nomination, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, maybe I can do this. Like, I have the privilege, and I don't know, it's just a waiting game, and I'm gonna carry on doing it until I'm not happy, and when I'm not happy, then it's, okay, maybe I do something else sort of thing.
Got any ideas what can fill in the wait?
Do you be happy to do the podcast?
Podcast.
They love plugging that, don't they?
What's the podcast?
Well, that one, and then just like, you're always trying to get yourself out there. I don't know, it's just hard. It's like, you can do the auditions, you never hear back. Like, I didn't hear back for Melodrive for like a month, and I was like, okay, I got it. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome.
But that's
Keeping a wait in.
but that's what it is. That's what you get yourself into, and you know what you're getting yourself into. So
Can't plan ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also it's like, oh, I could plan something next month. Oh, I've got an audition, but then like either you book that. That's acting. But I wouldn't change it because that's what I love doing.
I wonder if there's something in the reward that you get from it is so great that you're willing to live a life like this of being open to opportunities and sacrifice.
Yeah, I just like being another character. I just like, it's really fun to delve into somebody you could kind of relate to, because I had similarities with Zoe, but then like putting that to something else was really fun.
I think you have to fall in love with the kind of the struggle of it, to be honest. I think if you can allow yourself to do that, it's a really, I think it's a really exciting journey, right? I think you have to really invest in, it is the journey, not the destination, because, you know, we're all clambering for that next job, we're all clambering for Netflix to call us up, and you know, the reality of it is everyone wants the big break, right? And I think yeah, you've really got to fall in love with the process. Like, we shot for a month, but we did, you know, it wasn't a month for us. It was the best part of a year from being cast. And I think in that time, I don't want to speak for Megan, obviously, but I think we both, and I know for myself, I was a very different actor by the end of it. And I think if you can try and embrace that with every job and opportunity you have, how am I changing as a person, as an actor, and like the blessing of our work is those things are really closely intertwined. And I think if you can, if that's the thing you can enjoy, rather than where's the next job coming from, it's like, well, how am I changing? How's my work changing? What am I learning from this gig? Because they're all so different, and the people you meet are so different. I think if you can fall in love with that, all the kind of horribleness of, oh, I'm not working, feels a lot easier, and I think it feels a lot more romantic, I guess. I think
The key is as well, none of us will let them not succeed now. We believe in the two of them too much.
That's where the family element comes in, isn't it?
Yes. Sure.
I'll be an extra in the next one. So like,
Here we go.
But is that
And is that the same for the production side? Is that the same for you as a DP?
As a DP, I have no idea what the future is in that. I'm predominantly a director and producer. I just know how to use a camera and edit. And then, as Oscar was saying, being connected with him, and we were so close, and he was, lovely enough to like show me the script and talk to me quite a lot early on about it and what his avenues were and options and stuff. So I was kind of involved very early on as well, and then he kind of came to me and was like, would you come on board and shoot it and edit it? And I was like, yeah, you know, why not? So
Planting the
that's,
seeds. You couldn't say no about that.
I had nothing going on. But yeah, no, I don't know. But for like producing and stuff like that, yeah, I think like me and Oscar got a few films that we're pitching alongside each other as well. But I think it's that thing what Matt just said about like you really have to fall in love with the process.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you get too desperate, that's when you break and you slow down and you question things too much and you're just like, oh no, maybe.
Because so much is out of your control, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the reality.
Massively, yeah.
You have to fit a box a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
it
take
doesn't
that
mean you're not
you can't
skilled
take
enough.
that personally, can you?
No,
No.
that was a pretty recent lesson for me, to be honest, in the past couple of years. And now I've realised, oh no, I'm in a good place. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do. It's just about like being strategic with those steps. And if it's a door closed in your face, it's like, all right, cool, try the next door. Door closes, all right, try the next door. You just keep going until one stays open and repeat the process.
See, having been an actor, I wondered if it was different for people like yourself that as a musician as well.
yeah.
That you've got, as an actor, you haven't always got an opportunity to do your craft. You can't always play because you can't always find that group of people to do it with. But with your violin,
You have to use what skills you are on your belt, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm an actor. I say full time as much as I can, but it is really slow. So it's using what other skills you've got. So I've got violin, musician kind of stuff, but I was so glad when Oscar asked me to do this because it meant that I could still be in that world, but then use different parts of my skill set. And he also trusted me with composition that I haven't really used much recently, so I was able to arrange that violin part myself. And then Oscar said, yes, we'll take this, and I was able to record it. And just being part of that world is just brilliant, and having that little small part in the film as well. Yeah.
and do you think sound lord?
I love your running with that.
That's who you are. So, do you feel that's much the same for you? That this is the way of the industry, of the creative fields, that we have to be just open to opportunities and just be in the job that we've got now, and then we don't exactly know what the future holds. Do
I
we?
think I'd echo Alex's point about using what skills you have. So I'm a bit more of a music background than film. I actually studied the same place as Oscar, so that's how we actually came to meet each other, was through music. And I've done work in studio recording, live sound engineering. I've performed myself as a musician, and of course film work as well. So you have to be open to, let's use Joshy's doors, get all these doors in front of you, as many doors as you can,
Kick 'em
by
down.
using your experience. And I think, don't to be too disheartened when things don't work out. Keep using your skills to make things work out for you when the time's right.
As audience members, as groupies, how does it feel for you, like when you watch this film but you understand all of this from these creative people, what they go through? Does it add any like different dimensions to the entertainment that you're absorbing?
Definitely.
100%.
Because when you're watching it, I feel like one of the best things that you can have in a piece of art is when you can see, and not so much that it like takes you out of it, but when you can see everyone involved is having the time of their lives. That's when something is at its best, and you can just see that with that film, that everyone loved it, everyone cared about it. I mean, everyone sat here willing to, sit and talk about it, when like, I know some of you've got a crazy journey home tonight, but you want to talk about it. sorry.
Aren't we staying here?
The sofas, can they sofas for everyone?
Yeah, and
It's late enough already, isn't it? So
nothing's better than, just watching something and being really, really proud of someone.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm a bit cross-eyed.
So hypothetical, right? We jump in a time machine, all of us, to go together, and we go back to day one. Is there any advice that you would give to yourselves individually? Is there anything you would say, Oliver, Oscar.
So,
So many names.
it happens a lot,
It was
actually.
called Oliver back then.
A year ago. Would I change anything? Probably not. I mean, the whole process was pretty organic. And like I said at the beginning, like I got the film I wanted, you know, and like what more could I need? Like I got the film I wanted, I made friends for life. I had an incredible experience. If I was to do anything differently, I wouldn't have a job alongside because it killed me.
So even
Yes.
without change, would you not? Is there any like lasting message that you've got from this film, having done it, that you would have used to help propel you forward?
I think it's just like what I've always stuck with is just like be true to yourself, and it's not so much like write what you know, but it's write what you can feel, and like what means something to me, and what like the emotional core of myself, and like tapping into that and using that is what sparks conversations and creates stories that I care about and it seems other people care about. So I think just own your voice.
Nice.
Damn.
Alright, we'll wrap it up then.
Well, we've all gone on the time machine. I mean, this is a group time machine. So, DP, where are we?
I don't really believe in changing anything. I think everything kind of happens for whatever reason it does, and I mean we're saying like everything went swimmingly on this.
No, this
It never would.
No.
You have like that 100% vision, and you're always going to come away. The way I say it is like as long as you come away with near 70% of what you went in hoping to get, you're good. And I think we probably did that and a bit more.
Definitely.
But there were obviously some things where you walk away from and learn from. And I think those are the things that make you better at your craft. People can pat you on your back as much as you want. You're not really going to learn much from that. You need people to kind of criticise your work, or you need to trip up and, you know, mess up along the way, and that's what you learn.
Has anyone else got any advice for their year ago self? That beginning day, that day one, when you got cast? Was there? You sounded like you was excited that you
I was,
presumed
yeah.
that you got cast.
I think I would be less harsh on myself. I think I do that quite a lot. I think like even like just everything of like, hey, like it doesn't matter what you look like, it's fine. Just do it. Like at the end of the day, like you're acting, you do what you want to do. Like me and Jordan always say, like, just think of what your younger self would think right now. Like I've always wanted to live in London. I'm living in London, but I'm so harsh on myself. I've just seen myself on the screen acting, doing what I've wanted to do since I can remember. Like just trying to be less harsh on myself. I think everyone is can relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's, God, we're awful for that as actors.
Yeah.
That's such a thing. But I'd echo what Joshy said. I think mistakes are there for a reason. The film's brilliant, and it's not the perfect film. I think I never want to see the perfect film. We shouldn't want to make the perfect film because it doesn't exist, and it's the imperfections that make something fly and make something bring things to life. And I think, like I said earlier, you always want to be learning, you always want to be going forward. And I think, as I say, because this is as much as this is a project and we love it, we're also hopefully our careers will kind of go on from this, and we want to look back at this as something we're really proud of, but also what can we learn, what didn't go well, and you have to do that. And I think the second you make something where you think, no, I wouldn't change anything, I think you're in trouble there, and I think you're not on the right trajectory. So I wouldn't change anything. The mistakes we made, and we did, it's not the perfect film.
I think of that glitter ball scene, how unhappy and
Yeah.
sad. There's this one
how
shot
many,
musical
how many
number.
shots did we do of that one?
10, and
I swear
it
it
was
was
just
more
not
than that.
happening, and we were really upset, and it was like hailing it down at like 3-4 a.m. And we had a location change as well because of that, and it just wasn't happening. But then I don't know, then it's there in the film. And it's like, if I've learned
One of my absolute
anything,
favourite scenes, by the way.
if I've learned anything from the process, it's just like, I mean, I'm quite to the script in a way. Like there is freedom, but the freedom's kind of like before we get there. Like I'm really prep heavy, so all of that's done, and when we get there, that's what we've got is their voices in this final script that we're doing. But if I learn anything from Glitterball, it's like sometimes just let it go, let it breathe. It's fine. We're freaking out, I think, because we're also tired. We want to go to bed. We're wet. It's really cold. The scene's really high pressure, but it was always there, and we were just like freaking out because we cared too much in that situation, which is not a bad thing. But if we just let it breathe, I think we would have been far happier, and it wouldn't have taken like a year and couple of months later to realise everything's fine. Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
the night Oscars talking, like, it was a really tough night for everyone,
Yeah.
and I think, but the rest of the shoot was informed by that. Like, even this on the same project, like, you know, you learn on the fly, and like it made, like, even that tough night, like, gave the film the flavour it needed in whatever way it needed. You know, it was.
So that scene got done. So was there any failures that happened that night? Were there any mistakes?
It just wasn't going the way we wanted it to go.
The universe seemed a little bit against you at that moment.
Yeah, and I think it's like, because it was like a one-shot musical number, so it was like 3 minutes as well. And we were in this tiny little ferry bus stop. And it was really hard. And I think we had practiced and we had blocked something at a completely different location. So like getting here, and then all of a sudden, like your creative brain's like, oh, in your head, it's like, oh, it's going to look like this. But then like they thought of something different. DOP's thought of something different. You know, everyone's thought of something different. It's like, oh, okay, we're not prepared for this. And I think it's because there's so much prep on Melodrive. But then even like, you were saying the prep, when we got to the day, it was still very free and it was very flowing. We were letting just the best things happen. But I think it was like that moment, oh, the prep's gone out the window, but we've been like riding on prep. Like, what do we do?
Trust the process.
Trust the process, which we, you know, in that moment we didn't, but it's like remaining cool and calm in those moments. Like, we just cared so much about the scene, you know what I mean? We cared so much about the song. It was make or break for the film, and we just weren't looking at it properly, you know? And
so how did you actually get it to come together then?
we gave up, put it in the film, and it was good.
No, not even joking.
Yeah, genuinely.
never
I think we stayed until like 5 in the morning. We were like,
it got to a point where we did have to do that, but that wasn't for lack of trying.
No.
Oh yeah, we did 10 takes.
We tried it.
So you don't watch it back subjectively, and you see it on the big screen, and you're like, that's a mess. That scene. I'm ashamed. That's not a feeling at all.
Well,
And that's
even
where
the
we do
song.
trust the process. You know what I mean? It's right now. So regardless of what happened, it doesn't matter, because look how well it fits into that spot and how organic it feels. And I think the fact it was a pure mess and all our blocking went out the window, but those two just like play, and that's why it's beautiful. And it's just, but none of us were looking at that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's on us. But I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Sorry to cut.
You
but
carry on.
I think that's where the atmosphere on set that we were talking about earlier really actually, although that wasn't a moment where that kind of relaxed nature and that kind of family feel was at its sort of most obvious point. You know, it was a really tough evening. I think what you're talking about, how the scene ended up, the scene is kind of a mess. It's very playful.
Because we
it's
did
very...
actually make mistakes in that scene,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it made it,
But it
it
worked.
worked.
Yeah, and I think the atmosphere on set was a testament to that. We'd created a kind of environment and a film thus far that had this kind of playful energy because of us, and that when it came to something that was really tough for us and was a mess, it didn't feel like a mess because the film thus far had the right atmosphere that we needed. So this kind of chaotic nature fit in okay, you know.
And also, when I watch it now, all I see is the prep, which is weird because
Okay.
like on the day, we couldn't see it was all over the place. It was gone. But now I do see the prep, but in different ways, like in the chemistry, in the rehearsals of the song, in the blocking at the old location. Like, it's all there, but it's not in the way we saw it. You know, but it's there. The prep's there. The prep got that scene to work. But you know, in
So
your
it's
minds,
important, the prep.
Oh yeah.
But it's not so important that it has to be strict guidelines and rules.
Yeah.
That nothing else can happen.
And it never is, but I think in that environment and those circumstances and the weather and the time, prep was important to us when it didn't need to be, because it was there. And that's quite a beautiful lesson. And like, I think that's the miracle of the film. Like, we worked so hard around the clock with like nothing, no resources, a very small skeleton crew of like 12 of us. And the fact that scene works, someone's on our side. Because there was no reason for that to work, you know, the way it felt on the day. But it is a testament to these guys. It was like, you know, we didn't know, we were out of a plan. It was too hard to block and choreograph something in that tiny space in that amount of time. You know, we were done. There was nothing to implement. It was like, right, guys, work, make it work. And like, not with that amount of pressure, but it's like, you can, we all know you can, just do your thing. You know, and then we just threw it all out the window.
So has anyone got any ideas what was on your side, like looking back on that moment, that it felt really tough in the moment, but then something beautiful's come from it, and you say there's something that was on your side? Have you got any ideas what that thing is?
I think it's what we kind of been saying anyway. It's like just vetting. We're not just being vetted on like, are we nice people to be around? We're also being vetted on like our talents. So it's like, even though there's this high stress, there's still being backed up by this knowledge
And trust, isn't it?
Trust.
Yeah, we trusted each
So
other.
it's like, everything was there. Like it was difficult with the camera that we had, like FX9 with a massive Fuji lens on it, like was it 20 to 120 whatever,
Long.
in this tiny little space with these two guys and a bloody guitar dancing around, and like I'm there, this little easy rig trying to dance around with them. It's just
Losing our
ridiculous.
focus distance all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
The wires on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Wires on the ceiling.
Being cold.
Exactly, and then there's
So
like
cold.
there's no power. Like we're in the middle of this street. It's like it's pitch black. It's like how do we light this fucking thing? Like what's going on? But then because you have that basic knowledge, like it was all done. It was like it was lit. It was done. It was prepped. We stepped in there. We knew exactly what we were doing. I think it was just that stress kind of takes over in those moments because you care so much. But we had it in like I can't remember what the take was in the edit.
Was it take one in the end?
No.
No, it was
No.
between take 2 and take 9.
Yeah.
And we went with take 9.
Not the first
Yeah.
I'll say something on that as well. It's in the people and the sort of Matt said what we'd established to that point. So it's massively in these two for being able to perform in the way they did and pull it off, and equally in the crew, because there was a lot of frustration that night. There was some raised voices. There was some people having to step away.
We were just saying I love you really loud.
It's quite refreshing to hear though because you know we did start off this with all like, oh, we all love each other and all of that, but actually there's moments where you're like,
everyone and still, you know, took a moment if they needed to, but everyone came back. Everyone did their job.
That's what I was going to say.
We each took our turn.
Should we also say that we had hummus and carrot sticks for catering that night?
Oh, we had a
So,
terrible
yeah,
time.
that's the problem.
I love them.
Yeah, but that was our
But just
dinner.
that was it.
At 3 a.m.
that's-
After we'd been shooting for 6 hours already. Or
Well, I've been on worse sets where all I got was Pringles all day.
Oh,
I would have
Yeah.
preferred that. I got rid of snacks.
To make us all happy, we got small skateboards.
Oh yeah, we
I
won.
shouldn't.
Why does that make you happy?
Because we were all just sending videos going.
You did. Oh, the finger skateboard.
Was it the day before we got?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Lots
that.
of time in the
Did
arcade
you
for a
win all the
seaside
arcade?
film.
Yeah, so on one day off, we all went, or a few of us went to the arcade, and we managed to get enough tickets to get a tech deck for every person.
It was quite
So
cute.
that became
See,
I've still
everyone's
got it.
included. See?
Yeah, I've still got
I've still got
mine.
mine.
yeah, mine's up on.
Yeah, mine's at my flat.
I don't know where
That kind
mine
of stuff's
is.
That's
important, though,
rude.
isn't it?
Mine's in the bin, let's be real.
It's not. It's on a pride of place. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's in his pocket right now.
So tell me about the best. So that was like the worst day, but it actually turned out to be quite good. What's your fondest memory of making this film? What's the memory that's going to stay with you forever? Is it the cheesecake?
No, mine's
That is a
running
good
into the
one.
ocean and
Yeah.
nearly fainting after.
Yeah. So many
That was
stories.
hot. That was.
No time
You also-
really
you
for the
also
amount of
fell
stories
over
we
that
have.
day.
I did all the
Actually,
so
you
yeah, I
did,
had a
yeah,
scrape
yeah.
on my leg, then I went into.
Is that your
the
best
ocean.
memory?
Yeah, my
Great.
best memory.
Well,
Well, I won't ever forget it.
No.
But that's what I think. I was doing that, and I went, and I still would do this again. I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
fair play. You carried
yeah.
on, like, you know.
But I was also like, I love this. Yeah, I'm in pain, but I love this.
I think this wasn't like my kind of best memory from the set because it was kind of there were more moments where we were kind of such like there was a lot more love and there was like sort of we were just a big family. But one really funny day that will always stand out for me is we shot some of the film in Gloucester and we shot some of the film in Devon. And we had a day where the day we were driving from Gloucester to Devon, we had to get a load of driving shots. So we used that day of travelling as a day of shooting, and we all and so we had the big van with all the gear in it, and then I had to drive the car that's in the film, and then I think we had a couple of other cars full of the crew who we were all driving down together, and we drove along the motorway all day. Getting out the car, re-rigging the camera on the side of the car, which I had to then be careful not to scrape against other cars. Then re-rigging the camera on the van that had to like follow me, and we all had walkie-talkies, so we were all like, just chatting shit to each other all day.
And the
Through these
permissions for this were loose.
What did you say?
The permissions were loose for that one.
Yeah. And we all had code names, and it was just ridiculous. Like it was just a really silly day.
That's
And
Again,
and
something
it was.
that shouldn't really work, but it.
But those shots looked great,
Yeah,
and it was a
it's fun.
beautiful day as well.
Yeah,
It was just really nice, really
Yeah.
funny, really weird, like
Yeah.
very strange day. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I think for me it was the promenade. performance. I
Yeah.
think that was the one scene that I was dreading. I think a few other people were dreading as well.
It was our first live music one, though, like
Yeah.
by the seaside.
Lots of extras.
Yeah, and we knew it was like, it
Yeah.
was sunny, it was Devon, it's the promenade, there's going to be loads of people. We were like, this could go anyway. And it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but once we set up and we were going, it was just, I don't know, just fun, just like almost like filming a music video, like good vibes.
Matt burnt his
Sun's
neck.
out. You did burn your neck.
Yeah, you got really burnt.
Yeah.
They had to put more makeup on you because they're like, you can't look burnt in this bit.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's the same day as Joshy, but sorry guys, doesn't really involve any of you. But I mean, we would literally, you could see the house, like the flat I grew up in for 18 years. Like you could see it from our location, and basically I used to be down on this promenade and this green like every day as a kid, playing something, skateboarding, I don't know, making films with my brother, like anything. And just to be able to, like, I was back in my hometown making this film that I really cared about, which was so personal, with so many amazing people, and I could just like look at the back of that window when like I grew up, and I'd look out and I was going to swear, but like nothing's happening. You know what I mean? It's just dead, and it's boring, and it's depressing, and it's grey. And like just to be there and to inject so much life, and like we had like over 100 locals just getting well stuck in that we cast on the day, just put them in the film, you know, and that was amazing. And then when we were moving location, this teenager, he was 13, ran out. He was working as a waiter for his mum's pizza restaurant, and he ran out and he's like, "Oh, I've been so busy, but my mum forced me to come out and catch you as you walked past," and like greeted him, and then he was just like, "Nothing happens here. It's just so inspiring. Like, I want to do film. I didn't know you could do film here," and like he was just like so into it and excited, and like it was just like kind of like full circle moment. It's like, oh, this is why I came back. Like, this is really nice, you know. And then I put him in the film, and he came back a few days later to extra at the big music number scene. And yeah, and I heard from him the other day. He's now doing film at college and stuff. So,
Nice.
yeah, so that was very cool. That was very nice.
And I wonder if there's something in that moment where you was like 8 years old looking at your
Yeah,
window,
yeah,
like nothing's happening in this world out there.
Yeah.
But then now you're making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there was something at that moment in your mind that you sort of drove you forward?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I was little with my brother, this is when we were like, I don't know, like 10 and 5, even younger. We used to like sneak into the holiday parks and do like Cops and Robbers Knock Down Ginger with all the Holidaymaker films. Really silly, no real story, but it was fun. And I think it's just like, I have such a weird relationship because like, it's a kind of nice place to grow up when you're young, but then when you become a teenager, it's just like there's no opportunity and there's no support for creativity. And I think it was a film that's really personal, and I mean, what I do tell stories of like about myself and about people I know and what I can feel. So I think I would have always gone back there, and I would have always done something. I'm glad it was now at like this age, and like what it feels kind of like the turning point for me as a person, not as like a creative or professionally. So it was kind of nice just to be like, okay, the validation of like this probably is the right path. This feels really nice to be here, and validation, but not really that, but like I saw myself like in so many ways as well, just like this little kid's dream that then got lost doing music because some guy wanted to be his friend. What a loser. But like since I was like 12 or 13 until I was like 22 is when I started doing film again. Like that's so many years, and just to be like, cool, like all of that is inputted into my journey and has given me what I am now. Like here I am making a music drama. It all meant something. It was all for a reason. It's a bloody long road, isn't it?
That's really cool.
So yeah, that's me.
Guys, any favourite days? Any memories?
Just follow that.
we all have our own journey. And
I just seem selfish now.
It's cool, mate. Yours will be cut out. So it's fine.
I actually had a day off.
But that was the best.
Wow.
Just one.
That's the perfect way. On the day off. But
No, actually, the day of them driving down, I had a day off. My sister Ridley had a wedding, so I was there.
The wedding.
No, that was all right. But the day I came back, Oscar's mum actually drove me down well early in the morning. And
It's like getting back here now.
Yeah, well, apparently it did all go horribly wrong without me, but
It was difficult.
I got back into Westwood Ho before they had all arrived to start shooting that day. And it was just kind of nice because I hadn't been since I did one test day down there, and it was nice to arrive and just have a bit of peace. And I kind of watched the sea for a bit. It was nice weather. I knew we were doing this live music shoot that day. It was for Shamefully Skull that day. And I just kind of got to take it all in for a moment before everyone then sort of arrived one by one, and it was nice vibes. Kind of just getting back to the team because we had shot 5 days or so in Gloucester before that. And I'd had these, well, it worked out as 3 days off because there was 2 anyway, I think. Is that right? And then, yeah, just sort of got to rejoin the team and pick back up that nice family atmosphere again. It was really nice just to have that brought back. And then I was locked in for the next couple of weeks.
Lovely. So guys, I feel like I want to give you guys the final word.
Oh God.
Yeah. Why should anyone go and watch this movie?
I might be a bit biased.
I'm getting the feeling you are. Don't worry.
I've spoken enough praises about Megan. The film obviously is about a road trip down to Devon. I am from Devon and my family live in North Somerset at the moment, and the film felt like going home.
That's nice. That's how
lovely little tag.
It was in the arcade. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's so
The fish and
true.
chips, like
no better way to waste your money, is it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And Megan's in it.
Oh, this has been a wonderful conversation, guys.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank
I've
you so
enjoyed
much.
myself
Have you?
very much.
Yeah, so have I. This is
I'm not
lovely.
going.
No, we can we can stay. It's only gone past 11. I've been talking for like
We
12
have a
hours
3-hour
straight.
journey back.
Really?
Do you want to come in the car? Do another?
Let's do a car podcast. Why not? Yeah, this has been lovely. Well, us guys are definitely doing a collab. aren't we?
Yes,
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, I really appreciate this, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing.
Thank you.
I look forward to joining you. To watching this film. Where can I find it?
It's not out yet.
It's
It
not
won't
out
be
yet.
out for a while.
So it's gonna do the festival circuits.
But there's nothing else called Melodrive, and there probably never will be, so you won't lose it.
Okay, social media presence.
Yeah. So ojproductions.co.uk. That's the Instagram handle. You can find me, Oscar Wenman-Hyde. Oh, no one's going to know how to spell that, but hey.
I tell you what, we'll put it all in the comments below.
That'd be lovely. But Melodrive, you will find me, you'll find new people, and you'll find what we're doing.
Wonderful. That's great, guys. If anyone was watching or listening and they joined us for the conversation, we appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Wonderful.